What's going on, LEGO Maniacs? It's Ty, the LEGO guy here, and welcome to another LEGO Star Wars review. Today we're actually taking a look at the original ARC-170 Starfighter. That's set 7259. It had 396 pieces, 4 minifigs retailed for only $40 US, and it came out in 2005. Now nowadays this set's going for 91 used or 238 new, so it's appreciated quite a bit. We're gonna get into why. This set is this is right around when LEGO Star Wars sets started to get really good, 2002 and after. And this ARC-170, although it's not perfect, it's definitely a very well put together set, but we're gonna take a look at its positives and its negatives. But enough talk, let's get right into it. And to start us off, we'll begin by giving you guys a 360 view of the fighter. This is a deceptively large ship. Like, it's actually probably almost 2 feet in length, or about half a meter in length, which is absolutely crazy. And it's about a foot or a third or a fourth of a meter in length. Look at those engines. There is no stickers in this ship as well. They're all printed pieces, which we will take a closer look at. And it has a number of awesome features, very similar to the X-Wing, which this is actually a predecessor of it. Let's now break it down area by area. And the first area is actually going to be a feature that we're going to take a look at, and it's actually this Technic toggle at the back. Now this has 2 functions, but the first function we'll show off is how you can actually raise the wings, just like an X-Wing. The S-folds, as they, what's it called? They call it. And as you can see, it just opens up very nicely. We'll actually flip around to the front. And I always displayed it like so. You can put some plastic window pieces below it just to make it look like it's flying. That is just an awesome feature. The other thing that you can do with it is if you actually pull it, it drops bombs. So it has 2 functions, which is actually quite nice. It's all to do with that clear piece in the center there. Very well functioning features. And then on the front of the ship, you'll notice it has this nice engine detail. Now those are printed pieces. They are not stickers. Those would have been a nightmare to apply. And then moving on to the main cockpit, I will say that this is a little bit lackluster. There's no computer console or anything like that going on for the main pilot of the ship. However, if you move to the center of it, very easily just open her up like so. And this is there's a lot more going on. So if you notice, they have these little computer pieces on either side. That is actually a tri-fighter that they're trying to shoot down. Nice area to store the astromech droid, and you also have a back turret. Now this isn't completely accurate since there's supposed to be one on the bottom as well, but we'll overlook that. That's the one small flaw with this set, making it a little bit inaccurate. It should have one more turret on the bottom. And then there's some nice printed pieces. On the back right there, you also get the Republic logo on either of the smaller wings. And you also get some interesting printed pieces on the side right here. You can actually see through to the pilot, and I like that way better than a sticker. That was way better than what they did with the 2010 model. And you also have some decent looking engines on the back, like we mentioned. These could be a little bit better, but they're not the end of the world. They still get the job done. Overall, very decent looking fighter. It is by far one of my favorites that's, ever come out of the Star Wars universe. Let's now take a look at the minifigs. And here we have 3 of the 4 minifigures that are included. So just so you guys know, you get 3 of these clone pilots, 1 astromech droid, and the 3 clone pilots are identical. So we won't be taking a look at the 3rd. These definitely are dated by today's standards. These helmets are probably the most inaccurate part of the set. I will say I still quite like them though. I like the fact that they also have back torso printing. This was starting to become a norm in 2005 for LEGO Star Wars minifigures. And these troopers just hold a lot of nostalgia for me, and I know a number of other people are similar. Just to remove their helmets, you'll notice they have just blank black faces. And the astromech droid is the same since the one that we had back in 1999. He hasn't changed all that much, even, looking at them in the present day. Probably one of the main minifigures that could use an improvement, maybe give him a third leg, but not the end of the world. Overall, these are decent looking figures. Where the set really shines is the ship itself. I will say that the minifigures are kind of boring, although these clone pilots are definitely very nostalgic. Let's now get into the end of the review and get my final thoughts. Well guys, that's my review. Do hope you enjoyed it. This set is pretty well near perfect. I will say that the newer one that came out in 2010, I believe, is a little bit more fleshed out. It looks a little bit better, but this one's still nothing to scoff at. The feature works great. You get some decent looking minifigures. The minifigures could maybe be a bit better just because they do look very inaccurate to what we see in the movie. But the ship itself looks very much like what we see, from Revenge of the Sith. And it actually is quite wide. As you could, this is a big ship. I was always surprised at the size of it. So overall, I really like this one, but let me know what you guys think about it. If you like it, if you don't, any areas you think they could maybe improve on it. Overall, I think that it looks very, similar to what we see in the movie. And I actually like the set so much that I own 3 of them. So definitely gets the thumbs up in my books. But yeah, that pretty well does the review. But if you liked it, leave it a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, definitely consider subscribing and click that bell so you're notified for any future LEGO Star Wars reviews, comparisons. We do one of them every Tuesday and they span all the way from 1999 to the present. I'm a big LEGO Star Wars fan, so yeah, they're a lot of fun to do. But yeah, that pretty well does it again. But thanks again for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.